kNOwBOX Dance presents dance behind the screen, process production, and social media. Don't forget, say no to the box. Dile no a la caja. 고정관념 미래 상자에서 벗어나세요.
Welcome back to Dance Behind the Screen podcast. This is your co-host, Reina, and I am the Manager of Community Engagement for kNOwBOX Dance.
Hello, this is Yejin. I am the Programming Director for kNOwBOX Dance.
Hello, this is your co-host, Marthea, and I'm the Managing Director for kNOwBOX Dance.
Hey everyone, this is Azaria. I'm your co-host, and I'm the Manager of Resources and Archives for kNOwBOX Dance.
All right, to start us off, I want to share some quotes from the book Keep It Moving, Lessons for the Rest of Your Life by Twyla Tharp. Page 169. Are you walking? Are you moving through time and space? Then you're dancing. Dancing is a beautiful way to say thank you to your body and to join the human race. Welcome to the tribe. So I wanted to share this quote because I felt guilty after a pandemic, like less dancing through Zoom classes and in my daily life. So after I read this part, I felt very relieved. And it is okay to say no and have a break.
I love that. I think it's such an on-time quote for this year. I know for myself, and even I've seen it in my students, like you said, 2020 and 2021 were both really rough years. And some of us have found ourselves a little burnt out. But just knowing that even our shower dance and our little ditty that we do on the side, like we're still dancers, even if we need a break.
What's the best way to start off this show? Thanks, Yejin, for sharing that. So this season, we're doing things a little different. We're trying something new. In season 4, wait, can y'all believe we're in season 4?
Can you believe it's episode 99?
Oh my gosh.
Craziness.
Well, thank you guys for listening to us at 99 episodes. We can't wait to celebrate 100 with all of you. Okay, we're back. So in season 4, we are going to be talking about all things dance and film. If you've been following kNOwBOX for a little bit now, you know we have the kNOwBOX Dance Film Festival. So we wanted to shift gears and focus this entire season on all things, you guessed it, dance and film. You'll get a new episode on Wednesday every week from now until June. This season, we will have shorter episodes, so it's perfect to listen to on your morning commute, while you're walking your dog, cooking, doing chores. You get it. Shorter and sweeter. On Dance Behind the Screen podcast, we always ask our guests, how do they think outside of the box? Which to us means, how are they pushing the boundaries for dance? And in this season, how are they pushing the boundaries for dance and film? We hope our time with you leaves you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to think outside the box. To start off our season in today's show, we want to open up about who we are as co-hosts and our relationships to dance and film. With that, I'll go ahead and pass it to you, Yejin, for our next segment.
Alrighty, let's get to the point. So let's talk about what kind of dance filmmakers are you. So we can talk about what kind of dance film genre you make it, what kind of topic mainly you talk in your dance film, what kind of feedback you receive from your audience, so the audience can know more about you as a dance filmmaker. So, Azaria, I love you. So can you share?
Sure, I would love to share. So I feel like my identity as a dance filmmaker is still developing, but it is on par with who I am as a choreographer. And I like to describe a lot of my work revolving around social awareness. And I enjoy making works that are a little bit abstract in their narrative. So for me, I have a clear intention of the point I'm getting across, but I like to leave a little room for interpretation and more portray the experience of the subjects so that those who are watching can step into their shoes and experience what is going on. Because I think that is a powerful way to change minds and hearts. Reina, what kind of films do you make?
Yeah, I love everything that you said. Very similar to you, I'm still trying to find my way through this navigation of what dance film is for me and what I'm interested in creating. Lately, I've been have not started yet, but documentaries seem really fun to explore.
Let's make one together.
I know. Can we make a kNOwBOX dance documentary, please?
I love documentaries.
Put it out there.
Let's put it to existence. Well, I'm really interested in like creating films that are about 5 to 10 minutes, no less than 5, no more than 10. Just like I say in my dance and technology class, no more than 2, no less than 30 seconds. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just kind of interested in that, but more my process has to do a lot with like the characters that are in the dance film and what they're bringing in and what they also want to portray. And so I think while I'm still navigating the abstract storytelling idea, I'm really interested in creating film that speaks to those who are participating within the film. So that's kind of where I'm at. What about you, Marthea?
I love that you mentioned about like speaking to who's in the films. I think that's something I too am really interested in. And maybe it's our partnership together. You're really rubbing off on me, but just like how important collaboration really is. But I would say, I guess I'm very interested in dance films that are experimental in nature. And more so, I'm very curious about films as entry points to my work. So whether that's like creating a film as an entry point to a live performance or to some type of digital experience. That's something I'm really fascinated with, especially because films are familiar to so many people now, with not only with social media, but just TV experiences and the like, and how many different kinds of films that we're able to engage with just on a daily basis. So I like this idea that to get to the next part of my work, I can use film as that entry point, as that platform to connect with the audiences before taking them to maybe something a little bit unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Yejin, what kind of films do you like to make?
I think kNOwBOX Dance Film Festival, we have 3 categories: short series, general submission, and documentary. So all the films I made, it goes to under general submission. So I normally make the film less than 10 or 15 minutes. I don't specifically focus on one dance genre. So it could be just action, posture, gesture, any kind of movements. I also like to work with dance majors or non-dance majors, also different diverse bodies. So especially in Korea, body image is very issue still. So I try to show diverse bodies through my dance film. And also, I don't like watch documented, like live dance documented film. So like we always say through MBFF, I want to explore how dance look different on through dance films. I think that goes to my dance film aesthetic too. Yeah.
You don't love all those videos on Instagram of people in the studio?
I love it, but I don't want to make it. I just want to watch it.
Ditto. I like watching them.
They're good.
They're captivating. And it makes me think like this, I can totally not really do this, but I want to do this.
Me too. I like the dance itself, but I don't think that's 2 medium combined.
Like, yeah, it's less purposeful. And if it's going to be like that, I'd rather watch it live.
Like Azaria said, I talked about like the problem of capitalism and also like some kind of like human rights in relation to our current society, but I don't think my dance film revealed activism itself. I don't know. I don't feel like confidence for me to talk about my dance film is talking about I'm very like cautious about it for now. I'm trying to like put abstract, but also try to like be really concrete, I guess, about my message too. So it doesn't finish with just watching abstract film and finish, like some kind of message towards the world.
I feel like you're going to have to come on when we talk about social awareness in dance film later, because that's a very interesting concept that I've been playing with, because I do think, once again, that entry point, it kind of gives audiences a chance to see a different perspective before you give them the, like, this is what you change.
Exactly.
You can let them experience, and then maybe that goes into something that's a little bit more concrete on the activism standpoint. But I do think it allows the audience members to make their own decisions and or put themselves in somebody else's shoes. And I think that's what can initiate change.
Right.
I want to throw a little curveball there. I'm sorry.
Curveball queen.
Yeah. Just so you know, before the show, we were like, Raina's going to throw a little curveball in there now. I'm really interested in this idea of making the audience make the decision. Kind of like what you were saying, they're making the choice of what the film means to them. Maybe we could talk a little bit about that. What about that is important to us, maybe?
Well, I want to be clear that my films, I do have a purpose. And so it is not unbiased. It is definitely biased to whatever I'm trying to portray. But I try to do it in a way that's abstract enough that isn't like slapping somebody across the head with what maybe I'm trying to get. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I've been doing a lot of slapping of people. Who knows? But I like to think that it's that it's a little bit more open. But I do think that people can be really set in their ways and dig their heels down deeper when art is confrontational. And it's not to say that I don't think art doesn't need to be confrontational. I think art should be confrontational, and there's a place for everything. I think my approach, at least at the beginning, is to let people experience something that they aren't used to experiencing, or let them see a different perspective. And with that, I think that you can soften a heart to get to change.
I want to follow up to this, Azaria, because I think that this is something that, like, as we're creating like language for kNOwBOX, that we talk a lot about, especially with our tagline, saying no to the box, because we want to be open to just challenging possibilities of interpretation. And so I'm kind of wondering if you could think of some examples for our listeners, maybe examples of dance films or just art in general that you think portrays like this slapping across the face being confrontational art versus something that's a little bit more nuanced and leaves room for interpretation. Or any of you, if you all can think of some examples, I think it would be cool to talk about.
Yeah. When it comes to dance film, I can't think of anything that like is slaps across the face. And I don't mean that in like a negative term either, but the image that comes to my mind is a experimental visual arts piece. I think it's called Piss Christ or something like that. And it's like a figure of like Jesus in this yellow liquid that is assumed to be like, that's like slap you across the face, like almost meant to incite strong feelings, whatever they may be. So that's kind of what I think. And like I said, I do think that it's needed. So we've seen lots of images, especially after George Floyd, of like really portraying police brutality in film or like death and those kind of things. And I'm saying those are definitely needed. And sometimes we do need to be slapped across the face, especially when it comes to events like that. On the other nuanced side, and maybe not, it's a spectrum, right? Black Stains, we showed that film. I wouldn't say that that's nuanced, but I do think that it offers people to step inside somebody else's shoes. so that it's like this, this is me, right? So it's not like I'm not trying to prove anything to you. Like, come step into my shoes. And that's all it takes sometimes, to step into somebody else's shoes. And that sometimes feels like a slap in the face. And then with some of my works, I worked on a project with Raina called 3 Stages of Having to Prove Your Humanity. Maybe the title itself is the slap in the face. I need to find another term. Sorry, slap you in the face, slap you across the head. But the stories within it, like my intention for each of those sections were very clear, but the way that it's portrayed isn't in such a strong narrative that there's room for interpretation, but hopefully you feel the experience of the dancers to kind of understand where they're coming from.
I did a quick Google search as you were talking, and Piss Christ is a photograph by Andres Serrano. So if you want to just go ahead and Google it, listeners, you can check out and get a visual of what she was talking about. And then episode 86 is the interview with Tiffany Reinhardt and Trent Williams on their film Black Stains. So you can learn a little bit more about that film too.
But enough about me. We're going to have many other conversations with dance and social awareness, social justice. So stay tuned.
Don't forget to say no to the box.
I guess we could I'm really curious about any recent films that you guys have just recently created. Can y'all talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, Jane, can you tell us about Emergency Kit?
Sure. That is the first film I worked with another production. So I didn't film it, I didn't edit it. So that was my best part. And Marthea participated. She did some narration part. And it's basically we film in one cafeteria, but they had different sections. So the whole cafeteria was emergency room. And throughout the sequences, we, with my collaborator, kNOW, we wanted to show how our selfishness comes out unconsciously. Spoiler, one main character, Alice, was bleeding, and there are many people in the cafeteria, and they're supposed to help her, right? But they opened emergency kit and they saw drug and some sex-related tools. So they forgot they had to save her.
Help somebody. Oh.
Yeah. So they kind of through movement, they kind of release their stress and enjoy their happiness and forget about what's the priority for them. But maybe their priority is their happiness. So I tried to.
That's such a you film.
That sounds so strange, so fun.
What was that award you won for the other one? It was Weird and Wonderful. It sounds like
that's another one.
Weird and wonderful film that you've made.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How about you, Azari and Raina? You recently made a film together, isn't it?
Yeah, I've actually made a film with everyone in here except for Yejin. So we have a project that we need to be working on.
I know you need to come back and visit us, or we need to come to you in Korea.
Yes.
Let's make a work together. Raina and I worked on a project called 3 Stages of Having to Prove Your Humanity, another one of those social awareness pieces. And then Marthea, Raina, and I made a film work called Femina, which is about women power. So Raina, Marthea, works that you've recently made.
We could talk about a work we made together. We have our collective, we've talked about it a couple times before, called Mixed Emotus, which is our human digital interface art exploration. Yes, it's a mouthful. But we created this entire film from the perspective of our digital devices. And it was really fun. Basically, it tracked 4 of us in Mixed Emotus, the creators, a musician, media artists, us as dancers, through our day-to-day life. So it's basically what the devices see throughout our entire day. So when you wake up, when you hit the snooze button maybe 10 times. When you go to the bathroom, there's this hilarious clip of Raina in the bathroom from the device's perspective. When you open the refrigerator, when you cook. So that was a really cool film we made together. Do you want to elaborate on it more, Raina?
Yeah, no, it was a different take on what dance film can look like. So it was really exciting, just the experience of being on the behind the scenes while we're filming and we're directing. That was probably one of my favorite parts. You, in all of the film, we had to obviously took the sound off, but you can hear Marthea and I telling Lucas, one of our collaborators, how to put oil on a pan slowly, how to flip an egg, etc., etc. So that was really, really fun experience right there. But a recent dance film, I think we've been all collaborating with each other, so that's really exciting. There's a dance film that I've been trying to work on since last February, but I haven't been able to finish. And I think it's because, and maybe in the future we can talk about this, of how hard it can be to create a dance film that speaks personally to you, right? Because it's hard to see. So that's the latest dance film. I'm still 30 seconds in, so I'm really excited to see the end product, which is my goal this year. Let's go.
Yay!
Right, 2022 goals. So on this podcast, we love to ask our guests for recommendations and advice so that it's practical for everyone. What are some of your recommendations for your audience or our audience when it comes to dance film? Yejin.
Okay. The first dance film I saw in my life, The Cost of Living by DV8. You can see the film on YouTube. It's a very old film, but still I love it. I have two more too from MBFF. Official selections, Wolf by Berland Ballet. I think you can see on demand from kNOwBOX Dance, right? Yeah, you still can see it. You have to pay. Another one, Pilgrimage from our last year, official selection. So you can see that one full length also on YouTube too. Yay! How about you, Raina?
Okay, I'm really excited about this question. Like you did, Yejin, Pilgrimage is by far one of my favorite films. But also one that really got me into like what dance film can look like is Anima. It's a short musical film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, Tom York of Radiohead. So check that out if you haven't. Also, check out Pilgrimage if you haven't.
Marthea?
Couldn't pick one. I was trying to prepare. And so instead, I came up with a list of recommendations of like resources that could then show you more dance film options. I feel like there's just too many. And I feel like it depends on like the mood. Like, do I want to watch something quick and short, like on Instagram, or like, is it a series? So I just like listed out a bunch of different books basically. And like in the back of the books, they have recommendations for different artists or platforms. So you can check out those films. Also, Nowness.com, we've plugged that several times, but it's really cool because you can kind of curate your own like lineup of films and how you want to watch them. So I'm not naming one film. I didn't follow the rules. But some books are Dance Film, Choreography in the Moving Image by Aaron Brannigan, Envisioning Dance on Film and Video, Screen Dance, Inscribing the Ephemeral Image. And this is a cheesy one, but if you just follow #DanceFilm on Instagram or TikTok, you will be blown away by the just amount of creativity and innovation that you can see for free on your phone. What about you, Zar?
Mine's going to be a little bit different than everyone else's. SoundCloud and not GarageBand, although GarageBand is a useful tool too. Bandcamp. For those of you who are looking for musicians, you can find what's the word I'm looking for? Well-developed well-established artists on those platforms and newer artists, and it can be easier to find some licensing, possibly, if you are looking for some music.
Love that. Okay, let's do a quick fire round. Maybe we can each kind of share what our listeners can expect from us in this season on Dance and Film. Yeah, Jen?
All right, sure. I'm going to talk about dance. I'm going to talk with many dance film festival directors and talk about dance film festival tendency and also dance film distributions. How about you, Reina?
Yeah, I'll be talking to musicians and the collaboration process that goes behind the scenes of creating music for film.
I'm going to be talking about social justice and dance activism through dance film.
And I'll be wrapping up the season talking about the future of dance and film. So stick around. We can't wait to see you every week on the mic or on YouTube, wherever you're listening, as we go through this journey about everything dance and film. Dance Behind the Screen podcast is produced by kNOwBOX Dance, an art service organization that creates, collaborates, and discusses art with artists and the public. Dance Behind the Screen podcast is co-hosted by Azaria Hogans, Reina Mondragon, Marthea Nygaard, and Yejin Choi, with sound designed by Daniel Rosas.
Thanks for taking your time to tune into Dance Behind the Screen, a bi-monthly interview series where we go behind the screen to question process, product, and social media. Be sure to follow us on social media at kNOwBOX Dance. See you next time, and don't forget to say no to the box.